Alright, Mia, alright, get yourself warmed up, love. And all you're going to say is that you support victims, you always have, and you always will. Alright, look away and then look back again, makes it look a little bit fresher. And 3, 2, 1, go.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
Not bad. Sounds a bit formal, Mia, okay? And also, stop patting your lips, love. This is an apology video, not an audition. Now, there's a lot of long words in this one, so I'm going to hold up a little placard for you to read. All right, love? Now, look away and back, and 3, 2, 1, go.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
Sounded a little bit rehearsed, Mia, okay? Wrap things up with your heart goes out to all the victims of sexual abuse and all that. Lots of shaking of the head, close your eyes, lots of emotion, and looking back on me in 3, 2, 1, go.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
Very good, Mia. Okay, we'll stitch that together with Ashton's bit later, and right, let's go get some bagels.
So this whole you know, situation with that 70s show crew is really weird. And if you've been following it over the weekend, you know, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis ended up doing an apology video over, you know, the incident, trying to be character witnesses, and they're getting absolutely crushed by their woke peers, #BelieveAllWomen. Now, I want to, you know, say that, like, hey, evidence matters, and if he did what they say he did, you know, cool. I didn't follow the court case, but what I do know is there was, from what I understand, there was no physical evidence. That doesn't mean he didn't do it, but 30 years in prison is a long time. The testimony must have been extremely compelling. And, you know, I think that, you know, I think that who he was probably led to, you know, amplified the sentence. You see, Ashton Kutcher now turned off the comments under his and Mila Kunis's, quote, apology video after they were slammed for writing a glowing character letters on behalf of Danny Masterson. I don't really... So essentially what happened was, you know, years ago, or during the trial, they were asked to write letters in characters about his character. And, you know, for me, I think that, you know, they're all Hollywood weirdos. So I entirely 100% believe it's all true. It's all possible. You know, I think it was really dumb for them to even re-inject themselves. You know, they wrote a letter in support of Danny in his trial, a reminder that people always talk about believing survivors until your family/friend who causes harm. I mean, to refer of a convicted, you know, this as a role model and an older brother type figure, what kind of denial these people in? I don't know. You know, you can look at it two ways. One, so essentially, you know, the letters were to try and reduce the sentencing. I don't think it was to whether or not find his guilt or not. But they write these letters because they were probably his friend. Maybe they didn't even know anything about these type of scenarios. Maybe they didn't know anything about what happened. Maybe they did, and they still wrote the letter. Because it's Hollywood, I believe it's entirely possible that both are true. I mean, I don't think that they, you know, them putting out this video means that they don't, you know, support the victim. I think that, you know, it's insane. So they put this video out, which, you know, they picked a perfect spot. They're like, don't shave, look down a lot.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read, and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want.
They are paid actors. You know, they are doing what they do. I don't, you know, look, I think that, let's say if it wasn't Hollywood, right? And I had a friend that had done something terrible. I don't know if I would even write the letter. I guess if I ultimately believed that they were innocent, you know, if I believed they were innocent, maybe I'd write it. But if it was like my best friend did something heinous, I don't know. I guess maybe. I don't know. It depends, I guess, what the crime was.
I want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim.
All right. So it's, of course, over the top. They say, oh, we support everybody, blah, 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 blah. I don't really care that they're getting this backlash because it's Hollywood, but I've never really seen Ashton or Mila as they've never really had any like controversies that I know of. Then the comments are like, we're against trafficking and this bad things unless it's committed by our friends, 9,000 likes. The most recent video was not, I'm sorry we did this. It was, I'm sorry that you guys got to read them. And that's why the comments are off. Having an apology that lacked accountability and substance was bad. You knew deep down, hence why you disabled the comments. Just make better choices. Sometimes it's okay to say no and not burn down your brand over someone who didn't have self-control and cause permanent damage to women. You have children, be better, do better. I love when people say that. They're usually like 15-year-old kids. You know, I think that and now they're essentially being dragged and canceled. Now you see this. Danny Masterson, you see the accuser, shares resurfaced clip of Ashton discussing hanging out with Mila when they're very young. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You know, she did lie about her age. You know, she confirmed she lied about her age to land the 70 show at 14. I'd like to make it very clear that I did lie. People are saying this because now there's this new video that's out about, where is it? Here. Like now you have this, Amiri King. This is wildly concerning. I have a feeling a lot more is going to come out in the wash. Retweet and spread this around. So now they're coming after Ashton Kutcher because that's what happens.
She also has an album out. She's going to be in a movie called Cheaper by the Dozen, and she's one of the girls that we're all waiting for to turn 18, along with the Olsen twins. Any 15.
Okay, that's a joke everyone made at the time. All right. Now, again, I'm not going to go to the mat to protect Hollywood weirdos. But, like, again, but now they put out this smear video.
Job, and I didn't
Working
know.
with me?
Yeah, and she was as hot as she was, you know, come on, this one.
14.
14, she was even hotter. But I'm not allowed to say that.
Again, another bad joke, I think. But, it's interesting, there's a lot of stuff.
14 when we started the show. I was like 19, right?
Right.
And they're like, okay, you guys are going to be making out in this scene. And I'm like thinking like, wait, this is like slightly illegal,
That's
right?
probably your first kiss ever, right?
It was my first kiss. Why don't you tell them what bet you made with Danny about our first kiss?
No, it wasn't the first kiss.
No,
This was like
go
a
ahead,
second or
Ashton.
third kiss.
It was the first. It was like the first week.
No, it was not the first week.
Whatever. Let me tell you what happened.
No, let me tell you what happened.
No. Okay, so I've never kissed a guy. So I was so. I mean, Ash was attractive, and I was a 14-year-old little girl, and I was extremely scared for my life.
Sure.
And he was very nice about it. He was like, "Oh, don't worry." So I was like, "Okay." Then Danny goes and goes, "Dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kiss her." What would you stick your tongue in my mouth or some?
What? No.
I don't know. That sounds, he's a little like, that sounds a little, he's like, nah. That's a little. It's that's one of those. Hold up, wait a minute. That's like 14 in Hollywood is different than Midwestern 14. That's fair.
$10.
You're making it sound like it was like really. Okay, Dan, we had a little side bet, don't we?
Yeah.
Like,
Which was?
It wasn't very
as to
inside.
whether or not, you're kissing on the show or boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
You would use tongue, right, Rosie? I mean, you would use.
I don't think. And so was he? I think he was 19 at the time, or 17. If he was 19 and she was 14, like ew. That's I don't know about that.
And you're watching In the Crease TV.
Hi, I'm Ashton Kutcher, and I'm from That 70 Show TV. No, That 70 Show too.
Yes.
And the reason I'm doing this is not because I think In the Crease is good, but because Jock told me Mila would sit on my lap if I did. And it feels good.
All right, I'm gonna put it this way. I'm gonna say this. I know it's easy to just like hate Hollywood people because it's Hollywood, and I would never stump for Holly weirdos. But I don't see anything too weird in those videos. Like, it's just, I mean, he's just a kid making cringe jokes. It wasn't, I don't know if you go back and you actually like look at, I don't know, 14 and 19 is gross. But I think he was just making like cringe jokes. I don't, but now they're trying to cancel and putting this out. Like, this video has, 220,000 views. I think it was trending earlier. I mean, if you tell me that they hooked up when she was that young, that's one thing. But I just have to put it like, I don't really see anything there. And I don't see anything in any of these clips. He's just being a cringe 19, 20-year-old. It's not like the guy was in his 40s, And I mean, there's the law, whatever, that you need to follow and things like that. But for these two, I take more issue with them writing the letter of support, than out of context, weird cringe clips when they were young. They're married with kids now. Like, it's not, I just think it's funny. Like, this is just the woke crap. Like, they support their friend. Maybe they're trying to, keep them. If I think going back to my comment earlier, like, if it was my friend and I could keep him out of the chair, keep him out of the electric chair or something like that, I'd probably still write it, even if they did something heinous. It's not like any of this stuff. If she felt like weirded out, that weirded out about it, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be married with several children nowadays. But this is what Hollywood does. They dared step out of line and write a letter for Danny. And by the way, again, I didn't watch the whole trial, but all I can say is that, as far as I understood from it, there's no physical evidence. So maybe they did believe that there was some reasonable doubt there. It's difficult to know for sure. But Hollywood's going to Hollywood anyway, and they're going to try to cancel this dude, both of these, over this. Really, potentially Ashton, I would suspect.